Stay till the end of this video and I'll be giving you a brief style tip. If you're going through a divorce, your life feels like it's over. You're washed up. All you do is think about your ex and you look for help, but you realize that there's no pity in your bro code. Let's face it, with one of our bros, when they open up to us, it kind of gets weird. We don't know how to handle it. So we don't know what to say or do, and we say stupid ass things like, dude, just take care of yourself, or something about time, how it heals all wounds. But telling someone with a broken heart to just wait it out is like saying, hang in there, you're doing great. It's just insensitive and dismissive. Of course, time's a consistent predictor, but right now you're feeling like shit and you're living in your own living hell, and no one ever said that leaving hell is easy. Your loved ones, they are trying, and they're trying to help you using logic. But when logic and emotions collide, emotions will overwhelmingly win. Trying to erase those memories with cold hard logic, it's like using a calculator in a bikini contest. In other words, the feelings, they don't add up. It doesn't make sense. Right now, passion is your worst enemy, and it makes you just want to die. It's eating you up inside, but here's the key. What if you fight fire with fire? Use those feelings to defeat your heartache. You had a passion. It was your marriage, but you lost it. You now have to build a new one, and just like the love of your ex, it was not built in a day. The problem is that right now you hate yourself about just as much as you love your ex, and that needs to change there. What I'm about to say next, it took years of introspection. My hope is that you take it to heart, and this is especially true if you were cheated on, because you can't just move on. You have to move forward. When I got my ass dumped, I wasn't about to fight for her. The level of betrayal, it was Shakespearean. It was emotional, physical, sexual, and financial infidelity. To me, it was just soiled territory. She was now radioactive, and to be brutally honest, I thought of her as though she was herpes. A painful canker. No, she didn't have herpes. I'm not saying she did. Mentally, I took on that approach. Logic and common sense alone, they weren't going to help me when dealing with such primitive emotion like love. I had to find a newer, stronger, and frankly more fruitful passion here, and hence a new love in my life. A love worthy of my attention, but in order for it to work, it was gonna have to be worthy of replacing my ex. I mean, I loved her. And it wasn't gonna be money, not even my kids. It was gonna have to be me. It was time to begin and regain what little pride I had. I had to rebuild a new man, one that was nearly unrecognizable to those even close to me, because I realized that I settled. Love's so interesting because when you first meet your future ex, you never really see them as beautiful as when you fall in love with them. You think they're attractive, but as you grow to love them, then they become almost like a god. My ex, to me, she was the most beautiful woman in the world at the time. She really was. But talk about expectations. I realized that I was better than the circumstances that I had accepted in my life. I wanted people, including myself, to say, fuck, dude, you seen Renee? She's totally like a different person since the divorce. Dude looks great. It's like he lost 10 years. Here's my epiphany. I didn't question why she cheated. The answer, it was obvious. She wanted to return to her high school sweetheart. She tried to relive her adolescence, and hence she went backwards. So the question would be on how I fell out of love with her. I never tried. I did something more radical. I tried to fall in love with myself again. I became my own priority. Me, I did the opposite. I had to learn to love myself again, and that became my passion. To know my strengths and develop them, as well as to understand myself and to be that guy, you know, the one that others just like to be around. To do everything imaginable to move forward, from common things such as working out and upgrading my wardrobe to some really strange and even crazy shit like taking cold showers and starting a YouTube channel while I'm getting divorced. And of course, to become my own boss by starting what I consider the gold standard in men's divorce coaching. Clearly, those so-called strange things later became part of my identity because, put together, they all worked. I looked forward rather than backwards. Throughout the process, I created one of the fastest growing men's divorce support group on Facebook with the purpose of lifting each divorcee up. If you wish to join, go to my site and click on the Facebook link and it'll take you right there. While at it, make a free and confidential one-on-one with me. Because right now you're in a precarious situation and you need a coach. You may not know how much you need one, but you need a coach. You just don't know it. So what were some key differences between other guys and me? I'll point out several, but perhaps the biggest of all was that I just started taking on risks. I remember thinking that if I didn't change my way, I could lose everything, and that included my life, and that was terrifying. And when I say risk, I mean everything was a risk to me. Starting a YouTube channel was a risk. Wearing this particular jacket, that was a risk. Talking to that bebecita in front of my kids, that was a risk. I used my strengths and further developed them, and my motivator, it was fear. It was almost like being told that I had cancer and I had 6 months to live. I grabbed life by the balls and turned it on hyperdrive, and hence, I fell in love with it and myself. Being very aware that you could lose everything, it puts a strange perspective in life, and living life with that attitude, it gave me further reason to live. I approached her infidelity as a betrayal rather than just cheating. I had also been meditating for 2 years, and by the end, I was Zen-like, if you will. I used my resources to become someone else, someone that I liked again, and that led me to no longer being scared. But I am not going to lie. There was still that little itty-bitty voice in me that wanted her to rue the day she left me. My ex, Dara, she wasn't in a good place either. Turns out that her new guy, he was trying to break up with her. So she was showing the same signs and symptoms of grief. What I didn't know, and know now, is back then I thought her behavior was about her leaving me. It wasn't. But you know what they say, hurt people, because Dara was bullying me. She was questioning my sexuality, calling me a player, saying, "You're a fucking loser, Renee." I remember one morning, I was heading to work, and she walked with me, and in this very cold, matter-of-fact way, she says, "You know, when others see you, they see a well-put-together man. They see success. Me, I see a piece of shit." But the one that really stuck with me, the one that I'll always remember was her calling me a boring fucking old man. The other insults, I knew they were all bullshit, but being old and boring, that was a possibility, and that stuck with me. She used me, but I'm also a damn good poker player, and a good poker player, they know when to walk away from the table. So I surrendered, and I walked away. And that was the end. I never saw or spoke to her since finding out about her infidelity. Later, I found out through a third party that she indeed had a lover. About a month after our split, she texted me in her usual Dara mean flirtatious way. She was making fun of a picture that I took on social media. My response was simple. I overestimated you. You were easier to forget than I thought. There's a video I made regarding if your ex will ever apologize, and I said this.
Now, I know most of you guys, you would love to see a simple apology or even a regret, but fat chance because, well, it's a very low chance of this, especially the divorce if it gets contested. As for an apology, fat chance. You're not going to get one from her. They'll sooner forget.
Turns out that I was wrong, because just a few months ago, I received this message of apology, and I suppose it was some kind of request for communication. But I'm so far ahead of her. The message, it was only more of an inconvenience rather than redemption. I guess that's what putting yourself first is. It's to realize that you have options. Being single is like you own your own company. You're now your own boss. You're CEO, bitch. I mean, there's still shareholders, but for the most part, you go unchecked. You dance when you want to, drive where you want to, dress how the fuck you want to, and for the most part, you gotta begin surrounding yourself with positive people. It's now your turn to begin your life. So I leave you with this. Go to my link, mensdivorcecoaching.com, schedule a free and confidential 90-minute consultation, because it's time for you to do yourself a favor and begin to take yes for an answer. Thank you very much. According to surveys, the one sexiest part of a man's body, it's actually a ratio, and it's the shoulder to waist ratio. This golden ratio, as it's called, is supposed to be 1.6 to 1. So 1.6 to 1. But let's face it, it's a difficult number. Most guys, our ratio is 1. Use style to your advantage and wear a shirt that accentuates your shoulders like this cutie shirt right here. It very much looks like it does have shoulder straps, and therefore, what it does, it adds width and maintains the integrity of the shoulders. The shirt's great, and just to let you know, I am not getting paid for this. The downfall is that it comes in rather short. I'm 5'11", and this shirt is borderline for me. Anything less would be just too short in the front. But it's a great idea to accentuate shoulders with shoulder straps, and also the pockets, which also, as mentioned, they do maintain the integrity of the shirt. The shirt in particular is $35, and it's a medium. It does look fitted. It even looks fitted in the pictures, but I'm going to tell you a secret. I've been wearing a clip this whole time, so it does have space for the gut, in case you wanted to know. But order it. The link is in the description section of the video, and let me know your thoughts. Earlier I was talking about the Facebook group that you guys should really strongly, am I recording? If you're new here, you probably want to join our Facebook group, because in the Facebook group there's a lot of tips that I give regarding working out, style, and all that stuff. It's free, confidential. The information I give is limited. It's not like I do when I coach. The coaching is very specific, but at least I give a lot of tips. Join the group. It's pretty cool. Just say you're from there. Check this out. That's fucking gross, dude. I sweat enough to look like I pissed my pants, babe. Oh my God, Dido.